Hey guys, I I wanted to make a video right now because it's really late and I can't really sleep right now because I just have too many things on my mind really. Uh, I I think I'm sick or something. Like today, I just haven't felt good at all, and my bones are achy, and uh, I just have a headache and stuff. Um, and I sorry that the air purifier is on. I know that doesn't sound too good on the mic, but I just I don't really want to turn it off because it gets warm in my room really fast, and I need to breathe actually. But yeah, I just I basically wanted to talk to you guys about some stuff. Uh, I just I don't know. I've been feeling pretty nostalgic for like a super specific time in my life where just everything was so much less complicated, and uh, you know things meant less. Like I wasn't so focused on the little things all the time and freaking out. Uh, and I would stream this, but I can't. I don't know why. I could before, but I guess they changed the stream requirements. But I don't know. I guess a good way to get what I'm feeling out would be to tell a story real quick. This okay. Let me start off by saying 2015 was an important year in my life uh, for many reasons, and uh, it it taught me a lot about what it means to grow up and who I actually am, and uh, it's it's very important to me, uh, and I guess it starts off pretty similarly to a lot of the other points in my life where New Year's rolls around and I I'm not doing anything basically. It's like, oh well, another year's passed by and you know I haven't done anything really. And by this point in my life, nothing bad has happened really, except I don't know, my parents split up. That's like par for the course really. Like it's nothing too major. But I was in seventh grade at the time, and for the first semester, I actually lived with my mom. I lived with my dad, my whole life. Uh, so this was the first time that I moved to a different school district, and it was like a small town, and everybody knew each other, which I wasn't used to that at all, really, and I met a lot of new people, and I met teachers, and we walked around town like we could do that. It's not really something I would ever do here, like just walk around outside. I would never do that. But I don't know. It felt really wrong not being with like my two or three friends that I had made. Uh, like I just had a really strong friendship with those few people at that time. So I was like, you know what? Like I can't live here anymore. I have to move back with my dad, because it's just I felt horrible all the time. And while I was living there, I found out that one of my childhood dogs, Sammy, died while I was there, and I wasn't even there to, see her before she was gone. I mean, I think about all the bad times, but then there was also, like, Fallout 4. Like, when that was announced at E3, I literally stayed up all night rewatching the same E3 presentation on it. And that was during the summer, because I moved in with my mom during the summer, and then I went to school for a semester. And that's when things just started to feel wrong. But yeah, I was really hyped for Fallout 4. And when I moved back, it was really nice to see that everybody I knew from elementary school was like, "Oh, it's Chris." I was wondering where he was, because I always felt like nobody paid attention to who I was, really. I'm generally pretty introverted. I don't talk to a lot of people, but it was just cool to see that people remembered me when I came back. And then I made a bunch of new friends. Middle school was actually it was pretty horrible, but it was good for my social life, at the very least. Like, I grew as a person quite a bit. I became a little more extroverted, I guess. Like, I used to not be able to initiate conversations with people at all. And then at that point I could. And I made new friends, and then those friends introduced me to other friends, and it was just a jolly old time, making friends with people and going through middle school. But then, like, I don't know, I lost a lot of people during middle school, so yeah, and I was just really angry, because that class, or that like year of students, was really poorly behaved, so the teacher's really strict on us. And the day after my uncle passed away, who I was very close with, I don't know, it was like we had to read a thing on our agenda. The teacher was like, "Can anybody raise their hand to read this little, like, morning message?" And only a few people raised their hands and stuff, and that made her really angry for some reason. She was like, "Everybody raise their hands, go do the fun project stuff, and everybody who didn't stay in here." And then she named off all the people who raised their hands, and she didn't name off me or my friend, even though we were right next to her, raising our hand the entire time. And, when she called everybody's names, I was like, "What about us? We were raising our hands." And she said, "You should have kept it raised," or like some bullshit like that. And I lost it, and I started crying. And then she made it this whole spectacle in front of the class. Like, I care that much about a dumb project. Like, it's like they don't care enough to ask students what's actually wrong. Who would start crying because of a dumb fucking project? Like, it's ridiculous. I know their jobs are like, they're generally pretty selfless people, and they're helping out the youth, and all that's good. It's just like, sometimes they need to care a little more about what's going on in people's lives, because I feel like there's a lot of times where they just fail students. They just fail them, and then those students become whatever they become, like they on the streets, getting into trouble, all the stuff that could have been avoided if people just paid more attention. You see that happen with a lot of mass shooters too. It's like, it's ridiculous. Just people need to pay more attention to how people are feeling mentally. But I don't know. That was a whole different story. I didn't really need to get off into that. I just wanted to rant about it. But I don't know. Losing my uncle was a bad feeling. And actually, one of the last times I saw him before he passed, he gave me this handkerchief, and because I was in his van, and I was snotting because I have allergies, and he was just like, you could use one of these, and I kept it. I still haven't used it to blow my nose because like it's crazy sentimental value to me now. But it's really nice to have something that he gave me. It's like right here. I can look at it and think about all the funny stuff he used to say and all the funny stuff he used to do. Like when I was a kid, I used to go over to my grandma's house every weekend, pretty much, and it would be her and her husband and my aunt and my uncle. Actually, I'm related to the aunt, and then she married who's my uncle. So it was Aunt Lisa and Uncle Buddy, and I called my grandma Nanny just because, like childhood nicknames that just stick. And they'd play like Skip-O every weekend, and I would join them and stuff. I remember like every weekend, I used to walk in and Buddy's like, "Do you have a girlfriend yet?" And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, you need to go to girls' school. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even understand that joke for like several years of my life. But he would always make that joke, and it would make me laugh just because I didn't understand it. And he was such a great dude, man. He took care of my aunt, who's handicapped. She was in a wheelchair, and he just was always there to take care of her. And he was just like the coolest dude ever, and it fucking sucked when he died, man. It was tragic. He was going in to get surgery. There was a problem with his heart, like the valve that connects the heart to, the rest of the veins, to pump blood and stuff. And there was a problem with that, and I was under the impression that he was going to get surgery and it would all be fine. Like, I guess I didn't take into account that it's very dangerous surgery, and it's a high likelihood that he wouldn't make it. And I was really overly confident that he was gonna survive, and then he didn't. It was just like I was cleaning out my room because you guys know how my room used to be. If you watched some of my older videos, like it used to be really messy, and this was just like in a pile of stuff. And I grabbed it and I came out of my room and I went up to my dad and I was like, "Hey, look, this is something Buddy gave me." And I was under the impression that he was like still alive, doing fine. And then that's when my dad told me about what happened. Like the surgery was not a success, and he was gone. And then it didn't hit me for like a few minutes, and then my dad he said something in an impression of his voice, and it really made me break down, and I'll never forget every weekend going to my grandma's house. It was like the family day. It was the family day every week. We would go, me and my dad. And now like 3 out of the 4 people that we used to visit every weekend are gone. Like, they're gone. 3 of the most important people in my life they're gone, and they'll never come back. And I can't even healthfully deal with that. like, when I grieve, it's always like a song or some sort of video that really makes me just break down, because it's like, oh, that's the person that's now gone on video. Like, you're so close to actually talking to them, and you know, it just being like it used to be when they were alive. But when I don't have that, I can't healthfully deal with it. Like, it's fucked up that I deal with my deaths in my family like way worse than when like an entertainer dies or a YouTuber. Like, just the other night, I was watching like compilations of Etika with some sad music over it, and I like cried for hours. I couldn't stop. And then I started thinking about my family, everybody that I've lost, everybody that I'll never talk to again. And I just kept crying and crying. And I wish I could do that more often. I just want to be able to get it out. Like, I can't have this extra guilt of, like, I can't even deal with this in the back of my mind. It happens every time. I cannot deal with this shit. I can't deal with it healthfully. But, you know, whatever, like, we don't have a lot of time here, so we can't spend it just regretting things and beating ourselves up about things. I don't know. I guess I could tell more stories. Like, I'll tell another story. So you guys, oh, whoops. So you see the wall right there. It's the wall of shit that I have. Can you see? No, you can't. So basically, like, here, I want to explain that one first, because it's a funny one. It was actually my friend Jackson who drew that picture, and I just took it and I colored it in, and then years later I cut it out and just put it on the wall with tape. I know, very, very great way to put something on the wall. And I really did look like that too. Like, I had that same polo, and then the hair is so accurate that it hurts. I actually kind of have that hair right now. But yeah, that's just a really good picture. I mean, come on. And then that lose the tude sign over there I got from a language arts teacher like last year, because I won some game we did or something like that. And it's actually really cool that I have that, because I like that teacher a lot, and you know, she was one of the coolest teachers, man. And now she doesn't teach literature anymore. There's a new literature teacher. It's like, what the heck, man? Like, kind of sucks, but like, whatever. It's not like after these 4 years are over, you're ever gonna see them again, anyways. So it doesn't really matter that much. But, all right. I should probably explain this one. All right, that is Amelia from ReZero, which is the anime that I watched. I watched the whole thing, and I don't know, that was like the second or third anime that I ever watched, because my friend Jonah, who, you know, isn't really around anymore, he's not dead or anything. I talk to him like every couple months maybe. But he was like, dude, do you watch anime? And I'm like, no, not really. I like the memes, I guess. And he was like, dude, you should watch it. It's really good stuff. And I was like, okay, what would you recommend to me? And what he recommended was not ReZero. It was, I think, because I said I like the anime memes. Because I said that, he was like, you should watch Blend S. Because it was like 2016, 2017 or something. And, you know, at the time, that was when the intro of that show became a really big meme. It was like all the characters and their personalities all started with S, so it's like Smile, Sweet Sister, Sadist, yeah, whatever. You know the fucking meme. So I watched through that, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is all right. And I was watching anime for a little bit, and then I just kind of stopped because I don't know. It's the same with TV in general. Like, that's the thing that I do with shows in general, where I can't really like put the time into actually sitting down and watching like this long series. But yeah, whatever. I just drew that because I was really bored at my mom's house. I had nothing to do. I was talking to my friend, and I was looking at this other picture, I think, of her, and I just like tried to copy that. I didn't trace, but I was looking right at it the whole time. You know what? This is the end of the video, so I'm just gonna do something real quick. I've tried to record a coming out video like 3 or 4 times now, and it's just like I can't really. It's too much. When I sit down and I edit it and I explain everything and it's all formatted like that, it takes too long and I can't go through with it. So I'll just say it right now. I want to be a girl. I identify as a girl. Whatever whatever way to explain it would be easiest. I don't know. And I mean that's really all there is to it. I can't really build it up to be anything more than it actually is. Like, I always like daydream and stuff, and in my daydreams where it's like my perfect world and everything's like exactly how I want it to be, I'm just like always a girl in that scenario. So, and I've come to terms with this over like the past couple years, maybe 3, and I mean it's just another thing about me, I guess. It's not crazy, you know. It's not like this big thing that deserves a giant video. And so yeah, I mean, yeah, this video is just kind of me opening up to you guys about some stuff because I can't go to sleep. I'm just thinking about too many things that you can probably tell from it's the aftermath of this video. Honestly, with the stuff I talked about, I thought I was gonna cry, and that's why I made the video. I was like, I just want to be able to cry. Maybe seeing myself with some really shitty lighting where it looks like I'm in a B-movie, horror movie. Like, maybe if I just see myself the worst that I can be, it'll just all coming out. But it didn't, and you know, that's fine. Like, talking about this stuff, I don't know, it just takes it off my mind. I guess thanks for listening to just this freaking rambling. This is not a normal video, really. I just wanted to talk about some stuff. And like I said before, I would live stream this, but I can't, because you can't do mobile live streaming anymore. Very sad. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll probably have another video soon that's not depressing. And peace out, dog.